Hello, my loves. How are you today? I'm excited to be here because I bought new stuff. Yes, I know I wasn't going to. My hair's sticking straight up. I was going to lay off, and then I just kind of went on a spree. I don't know why, but I did. So now I have two Ulta orders we're going to look at, and then today my Sephora came in. And I think it's going to change what I do and how I do it. We'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about some new stuff I've got in makeup-wise. Then I've got some new products that I want to try. I don't know what to think about. We'll see. But first, I've combined the two orders from Ulta into one. And this box is huge. Really didn't need to be that huge. I did get a bunch of sample stuff. Nothing really worth talking about. Hair stuff, moisturizers, another of this Maybelline Lash Sensational. I have a brand new one over there. I don't know. But I do like the bag. So I will start carrying the bag with me. Again, this box makes it look like there's a ton more than there is. I don't know why they're using such big boxes. I'd be glad to help them find the right size boxes. I mean, that's what I do for a living. Now, I will say I bought some glue for wigs. This is bonding glue that you put on and you can attach it. And this is a remover. So I've got the hairspray. And then I've got the setting stuff, which is really good. Now I've got some glue. And I was thinking, the reason I did that is because I've been doing these murder mysteries and having so much fun with them. Like, it's been a lot of fun. And I'm doing a Jennifer Lopez look for my niece's 21st birthday coming up. So we'll be doing a lot of dancing and carrying on, which some of these murder mysteries we dance, but it's not like that's all we do. And of course, we're going to hit a bunch of clubs after, for this birthday. So I needed to make sure that what I put on stayed. So that's why we're trying that. Now, I bought, and I accidentally bought two pair of them. It's okay. I'm hoping I like them, so at least it is okay. But these are new lashes from Lily Lash. They are the Chrysan. I cannot pronounce that. And they are literally the exact same. So I'll wear one today, try them on. The new one will go over here. Now, I love this Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. Someone's woke up from his nap. A baby. And but it is so hard to find. Like, it's always out of stock. So Tarte came out with a Sculpt tape that's very similar to this. And they have a blush, but it's been out of stock. And then I noticed that the Charlotte Tilbury blush like this is back in stock. So I do have one on order coming in. But we're going to try this and see if it's just as good as the Charlotte Tilbury and what my thoughts are on it. I bought Natasha Denona Mini Pastel Palette. Now, to be fair, I'm not huge on pastels. And this palette has really caught my eye since it's come out like a year or so ago, but I don't need a whole palette full of colors I won't use. So this I thought was perfect because there's just the basic colors from the palette, and I'm like, okay, I could probably find something to do with that. I was going to use this today. It's changed, so I'll explain that here in a minute. But I love these little minis from Charlotte Denona. If I don't think I'm going to use a whole palette, the minis are perfect. So, next, my birthday gift from Ulta this month, or this year, was the Lash mascara. I do like this mascara. I've had it before. Typically, it's got the wand. I do really like this mascara. I had it dried out, and I had to toss it, so I'm glad to get another one. Even though, again, I don't need more mascara. I've got 3 of them over here, samples that come in that I haven't used. I've got my whole set of mascaras over here that I don't use, and I threw away a ton of them, and I'm looking at them, and I can probably throw away some more. So, now, lipsticks. Now, I just want to talk about these lipsticks for a minute because I was more than impressed with these. And before we swatch them, I'll talk about what I got from Sephora. So, for the last two murder mystery looks, you all are with me when I use these two Maybelline Super Stay inks. And let me tell you, these are the two hardest colors. Like, they bleed, they fade. You usually get that inside look that's really awful because it's the first to go. They didn't move. Like, all night long they didn't move. My lips didn't feel dry. I mean, they were drier, but not, you know, I felt like I had to chew it off because it was so dry and I couldn't move or talk, or if you're talking and you feel like your mouth is cracking. Didn't have any of that. So I thought, let's try some more. So that's what we got. And this is the black, which is the color, and of course here's where these are important. This color is Thrill Seeker, and this one is Exhilarator. And I was really worried because I bought another red. Where's that? Might be that one. And I was afraid they were going to be close because one's a cherry and one was red, but they're not, and that's perfect. So we'll swatch those colors here in a minute. I want to discuss the last two things that I've got in the mail. And this is from Sephora. So Too Faced Better Than Sex has come out with a chocolate edition. So their mascara's brown, and then they've got an eyeliner that's brown. I love Too Faced. I love Better Than Sex. I don't use them as much as I used to. Now, I didn't think the mascara was actually worth it for me because when I put on mascara, I typically put lashes over top of them. So why put on a brown, right? But a good brown eyeliner is always good. And I actually do have the original so in black, and I use it a lot. So this one's brown, and I think the case is brown. It is. Oh, that's a pretty brown too. So I will not be using that today, along with the mini pastel that I kind of thought I would, because, and this just happened to work this way. I wasn't expecting my Sephora till tomorrow, and I'm like, that's great because that's another video I can do with some new product. Well, however, it was there today when I come home from the store, and I also bought this Natasha Denona Mini Xenon palette. Now, the reason I bought this is I need a good black palette, and I've been using this one, and it's the Clinique Wear Everywhere Grays, but it is, I don't know, I've not been a fan of it since I bought it. Very patchy, very whatever. So I was looking, and I had my eye on this. So this has been in my my loves that you can mark for a while, and I thought, I'll just go ahead and do it. So I actually ordered this before I ordered the pastel. And we're going to use that today because it just so happens I'm wearing gray and black. It wasn't planned. Like I said, I thought all along I'd be using the mini pastel. And that's kind of why I wore black and gray, because it goes with everything. But lo and behold, we are going to be using the Mini Xenon. Now, I do have a couple other things I want to show you. Bowie's asking to go out, so I will be right back. Okay, so for foundation, I have a new concealer coming in, and I'm actually kind of excited about it, but I won't use it with one of my trial samples of foundation. So when that comes in, I expect it tomorrow, I believe, I'll do another video. We'll talk about the foundation. We'll try these new things as well. And probably another lip, because obviously I can't use all four of them today. So today I thought I would try this Bare Minerals, what is it called? Complex Rescue, a 3-in-1 multitasking tinted moisturizer. So moisturizer and skin tint with an SPF 30. Dewy, healthy looking glow, clean, vegan, oil-free, sheer delight coverage. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if we like it. I believe the natural is the one I will use. So I've been wanting to try these for a little bit and haven't. So here's my chance. I have another foundation too that I can try, but I don't want to do it today. I actually used it not that long ago, and the color was a little off, but I will try it for you all so we can look at it. So we will be using this foundation today. Now, I bought these a while back because I thought they'd be perfect with my wigs. So I don't really know how it's going to work since I'm not wearing a wig. But they are they're face stickers, lifting and face lifting firming. And my neck is always what I want lifted more than anything. So I don't know. We've got them. I thought we'll try. I've got a ton of them in here. I mean, there's 60 pieces, so I thought it'd be a good time to try it and see if I like it. And, you know, if I do, then we can begin working on it. When I do my looks for these masquerades or whatever, it could be something I use for Jenny. Because Lord knows Jennifer Lopez does not have any excess fat on her. So we need to get rid of this Jen. But I also found these, and these have been very interesting for me for a while. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to buy it and go with it. And lo and behold, there is no directions, or there is. They're just, I can't speak that. I don't know. It just tells me the product is mainly made of highly breathable adhesive material. So I don't know. I guess it's Chinese, Korean. It's made in China, so Chinese. So, but what they are, and I'm going to pull up a video and probably look, is one of those that you're supposed to place it like right here, and it helps keep your eyelid from, you know, doing that hooded thing that I have. I thought, you know what, they were really pretty cheap. We'll try it, but I am going to have to pull up a video and look before we start that. So, that's just a few of the things that I have that have come in, and I'm going to try and give it a good shot. Now I'm going to have to, I took these off, but I'm going to have to leave them on so I can swatch these colors and tell you names. Make sure my arms are up. So I do have, and I was at Walmart today because I'm coming down with something, so I'm a little stuffy. And I went to the store to buy some medicine. And I always just kind of wander through the cosmetics. I very, very rarely buy anything from Walmart. And it's not that they don't have a good selection, it's I just don't buy basically what they got. I think Maybelline is the only thing they carry that I buy. Now, some Walmarts have NYX and Milani. I have bought those in the past, but I haven't bought anything from them in a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't buy anything from the Walmart, but I always look when I'm there. If I had the time, I always look. And today I was just wandering through and I had a little extra time and I saw these and they had another color that I was so tempted to buy, but I didn't because I wasn't sure exactly what I had bought. This kind of looks similar to it, but I think it was a lighter pink. So let's swatch these, and I'm gonna pull out the trusty app because I want to tell you what the color's supposed to be as I am doing it. So let me go to, where am I at? My orders. Pull this up. Okie dokie. So, Artist is the first one we'll use, and it's not the one I thought it was. So, this one is a True Fuchsia. So, we're just going to swatch them on the back of my hand. I should be able to get those with no problem. The only problem I see is getting them off after I'm done because this stuff is quite amazing. Okay. It's nice and pretty. Okay, so the next one, Ruler, is Muted Cranberry. I think this was the color I was thinking was red. But actually I looked at a cherry and didn't buy it. I like that a lot. Next we have Savant, and that is this one. It's a soft plum. Oh, I just got that on my pants. And then Lover is a dusty rose. Oh my gosh. So when it's coming out, it's like pulling. You see where it's on my pants like that too. Glad I'm wearing an old pair of sweats. I had on a pair of, you know, good blue jeans when I went out, and glad I changed. So those are the colors I bought. I will probably go with one of these two for this darker look. Maybe one of the other two for tomorrow, or whatever day I do it look. So I think I'm gonna go with the muted cranberry, which was Ruler. And I act like I can see that. Okay, so we'll save this and the rest of this stuff for tomorrow, or whenever the other stuff comes in. And let me finish and get a few things out. I'm gonna look up a video for this eye thing, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've just spent quite a bit of time looking over these pieces that I'm gonna use, like for my neck and my eyes. And gosh, my under eyes are really dark today. But the directions are very confusing on both. The one for the eye, there's really not a video. There's like a 5-second thing, and that just keeps replaying like you would find on TikTok or something. But we're gonna try it. However, it does say you can put it on before or after makeup. So I'm gonna do my eyeshadow look. I'm gonna do my eyeshadow look first. That way I can at least, you know, test out this products or these shoot. I'm sorry. I can at least do my eye look and test out these products and see how I'm gonna like it before trying these. And I mean, I would love it if I could do something that would make that look not, I don't even know how, because that's literally my bone. I don't know. So anyways, so for my eye primer, I'm going to start with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. It is my favorite. And whenever I try new eyeshadows or new products, period, I like to get out a primer that I know and trust and like. Like for my foundation, I've pulled out a primer that I really, really like. I just give it the best chance. You know, I don't want to set anything up for failure. So that's why I use some of these tried and true products and see what it does for me. Okay. I am sorry. I am literally struggling breathing right now. If I take a minute and disappear on you, you know why. Because it's, I don't know what's going on. I know it's got to do with part of my problem. And that's something else. I'm just using a different Natasha Denona palette. This is the Metropolis Mini. I'm just using the transition in it. But, so, I went to another doctor yesterday for my second opinion. And I was very much happier with the results here. So, of course, I didn't expect answers. I mean, that's just, there's no magic wand that can be waved that's going to say, okay, this is what's wrong, and this is the fix, and now you're better. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say I wish that wasn't something that would have been said. But I'm also very pragmatic and a realist. And is that the color I want? It is not. That's the shimmer. So, I just wanted somebody to listen to me, help me. You know, I don't have a problem with my main doctor, as I've stated before. I don't have a problem with him at all, except for it takes 5 months to see him, and I just can't. I just can't. So, the doctor I went to last, as you all know, kept telling me I was a complex case. It was very difficult, and then pulled out Google. He lost me when he pulled out Google. No lie. Because I understand if it's a case you're not familiar with, or it's out of your scope, which I had been told going in that it was probably going to be out of his scope and he was going to have to refer me on. So I was actually thinking that was what was going to happen, not what did happen. So, yeah. Anyways, I won't talk about that anymore. So I go to this new doctor, and right away I felt like he listened to me. Does that make sense? I was very fortunate. I kind of fell into this doctor. So it was one of those things that I went into my office. I don't know if I've told you the story or not. So if I haven't, I'm telling you now. If I have, I apologize. And if you haven't followed me before and you're just following along, not knowing what I'm talking about, I'll try to backtrack a little. So I went into the office after my mini vacation for my birthday, and a few things I almost canceled, because the reason I was going in, I had already met the person that was meeting everybody and seen the machine. So it was one of our suppliers. I'm in sales, for those of you that are new. And he's a supplier, and he's newer, so he's been with the company for a while, but he just moved to the Cincinnati area, and he's now our Kentucky rep. I have met him. He's been on calls with me, and they had a new machine that he was showing everybody I have actually seen. I almost canceled just for that purpose. Because, you know, I just come back from a few days off work. I was so behind, but I didn't. I had already told him I'd be there. Yada, yada, yada. And so I went. And I'm glad I did. So as I am there, there was supposed to be like 4 people there to meet him. And it was just me and one other person. The other 2 did not show. So first of all, I was like, okay, I'm glad you went, because he came all the way from Ohio and nobody was going to show, right? I thought that was just whatever. And so I'm glad I did. So, you know, we're done testing this machine, talking about it, you know, and it was a good visit because I got more ideas for my current customer and just some thoughts. So I was glad I went. Now, before I finish, just talk about this gray. It's a very deep gray, and deeper than I expected. I'm just going to kind of go around it a little bit and try to lighten it up. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about it, because I'm going in with a black here in a minute. So, but I don't really think I like what I just did either. I don't know. Anyway, so as I play with this, I tell ya, Tata's come to visit Mommy. Hi, baby. Yeah. I don't think you all can see her. Can you say hi? No, he's not going to reach. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I do some work because, you know, I'm away from my... Well, you know, when you go into things like that, you have to... yes, baby. You leave... I don't want to say leave your office because I'm in an office, in my home office, or my satellite office. And I'm not sure about that gray. But you're away from being able to call on customers is the best way to say it. Like, I am not, when I'm in the office doing anything, it takes me away from being out with customers, right? So I sit down and I catch up on some homework, on some work, and then I go to say goodbye to my customer service reps, and another sales rep was with me, the other guy that showed up. So we're talking for a minute. He leaves, and then I start to leave, and my sales rep's like, hey, they ever figure out what's going on with you? So we sit and we talk, which he knows that I've had some problems. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Holy, I hope you can tell. I know sometimes this is not the best for showing colors. I hope you can see that. So anyways, he's known I've been sick. I've been keeping him up on when I'm not going to be in the office or available because of testing and yada, yada, yada. But he and I have never had a long talk about it. I have with the other, my other CSR, like I have two main CSRs. And so I'm sure because they work in the same office, they've talked about it. And that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. But, so he's asking. And I'm talking and whatever. And I told him about Dr. Google and whatever. So he's like, he said something like, I was talking to my mom about it. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of odd. I didn't say that, but I was like, okay. She works for a gastroenterologist. Really? Yes, I'm very interested here. So he's like, I just reached out to see if I can get her number for you to call her to see if she'd be able to see you or whatever. So, and long story short, he does. And he gives me his mom's name and number. And see, I thought the black's very nice. Very pigmented, which is what I wanted. But that gray might not be. That gray probably will not do it for me. Because I feel like it's just too close to the black. And I don't want black eye. Anyway, so I leave. I go out to my car. And they go to lunch. Because, I mean, we've been in there talking. And I'd held them up from going to lunch. They were getting a late lunch. But I called this number. And he had told me it was his mother's number. So I'm like, okay. You know, I'm thinking she probably works in admitting or, you know, in the office, whatever, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Somebody can help me get in, I'm A-okay with. So she schedules me an appointment. She tells me, she's like, because I told her that the doctor had said he thought it might be gastroparesis. And she's like, yeah, if you have that, she said, I can see why it takes them a little bit to get you in. That's difficult. And I'm thinking, great. You know, this is going to be another one. She's going to tell me she can't get me in until May, June, July. You know, I'm a new patient. So at that point, like I've stated before, as a new patient, I expect to be told I'm going to be longer. Not a patient that's been with the doctor for months and being told, no, sorry, I can't see you for 5. Which is what has happened with my regular doctor. So she's like, well, we just opened up the clinic. This was on Wednesday. She said, we just opened up the clinic for Tuesday. She says, do you want in? I'm like, yes, please, 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 take me in. So they do. They scheduled me for Tuesday, which was yesterday. I'm going to say, I looked this doctor up. And my CSR had told me quite a bit about him too. Said that people come and work with him from all over. And he's very highly recommended and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. You know, I'm literally at the point I can't even be picky, right? I just need help. So he's a surgeon though. And I'm like, And he deals with, his specialty is gastroenterologist cancer. Enterological cancer? I don't know. But cancer for that. And I'm like, okay, this might be another one of those where he can't help me. And I'm thinking, if that's the case, I'm done. I'm just going to wait until my doctor, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I was already working myself up to a hissy for no reason, but I was. And so, I absolutely love that. So did Talia. So I'm going to try to take those little things. I want to put them right in here. Try to keep those up. So the kit I got's 120 pieces, and it just shows me using this little. I'm gonna go let her out. Sorry about that. So I will continue my story, but I want to work on this real quick. So there are 120 of these things, and this little tool, I guess. It shows using this tool to place it, which, I don't know, I think tweezer type thing might be better than this, but we're going to see. So it says, let me just read to you what it says. Invisible, delicate, made of premium refined lace fiber, invisible blending with any skin tone, water activated adhesion. Simply spray water to instantly make them become transparent and durable. Doesn't leave any eye glue residue. Easy application, just spray the water and then stick to your eye crease. "24-hour adhesion, 100% waterproof, sweat-proof, stays all day without loss. Makeup friendly, can be applied under or over makeup with products like eyeshadow, glitters, foundations, primers, etc. 100% latex free and hypoallergenic, which is good because I am sensitive to. So open, got it, knead it, tear off the, okay. See, it says tweezers. This is not tweezers. Unless I'm completely missing something. So you take them out with tweezers. You spray the water mist. And then you paste it right in place. See, it sounds so simple. So they say this is tweezers. What am I missing? This is not tweezers. No. In no shape or form are these tweezers. So I'll get out a pair of, well, I have a pair for my lashes and I'll just use them even though I need to. I got glue on them. I need to wipe off the glue. So I thought I would just use the setting spray that I've got out instead of water. I don't know why that would be any different. If it turns out to be a problem, I'll know for next time. So, oh my gosh, there are multiple packets. Okay. Hey, I hope it works. I only need one packet out right now. Okay, I'll just let that sit there. So, it says to knead it and then peel it. I have to use my glasses for this. It's so small. Okay. Now. Do I try this? So, spray it. Okay. Let it sit for a second. It doesn't say to, but And then right in the crease. Come on. And it's on my finger. And now I've dropped it. Oh, I found it, but it stuck to my pants, so we'll get another one. And I won't use, I'll just continue to use the okay. Did it again. Spray it again. Okay. And it says to use this side to kind of push it up. Can you tell any difference? I don't know. I think I might have put it in the wrong spot. But I'm going to tell you, you can see it. That's kind of... Shit. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. So I wonder if I go in over top of it. See, it's kind of this way instead of in the crease, so I think I applied it wrong. I don't really know if I see a difference. Excuse me. But let's just continue on with the next one. Okay. And spray. And it's wanting to stick to that one. All right. Personally, I can see them. Don't know if you can or not. I don't know if it'll even be an issue because of the lashes tend to hide a whole lot of errors. See, now that just wanted to come right off. Yeah, this, I'll keep trying them, but right now I'm not too impressed. Do you see a difference? So basically, let me know. Do you see that it has done anything different? And is it worth even continuing to try? I think what I've done is messed up part of my makeup. I don't know. Interesting. Let me know. Do you think it's I kept seeing out of the corner of my eye. Do you think it's done anything? I need to know. Let me know. So I'm just going to set these to the side. I'll finish putting them up here later. And yeah, I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's, I think this one might have because I have it higher. This one though, I think it's the same as it was. Give me your thoughts. Okay, so I am going to take, I'm going to start with, where's it at? Cleopatra ink. I feel very, and let's just do a cat eye, and then I'll fill it in with the other when I do lashes. So basically I'm just drawing the cat eye. I'll fill it in right here. Let's get this sharp. Okay. Let's do this side. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I know that's awful. And I hate it just as much as you do, so I am sorry. I'm going to pull out these lashes. My glasses are like in the way. So these are the Chrysan? I don't know. They are taped, so I need to cut them so I can open the box. Okay. Now, they have not been trimmed, so let's look at this and see if it needs to be trimmed. You see, I always reach for my glasses right here. So why I do this, let's talk about this doctor. So I go in, they get me in on Tuesday, which was amazing. And I go in, and thankfully, doctor is in my insurance network, because I do have a lot of problem with my insurance. And I even have a secondary insurance, but it doesn't give me the problem. My primary does. So, let's see. This one needs just a little bit. I get in, they're running a little behind. I get it. It's, you know, no big deal. There was like 4 patients in there counting myself. So I wasn't upset at this point. I'm past being upset, truthfully. So they get me in, and my CSR's mother come out and tell me, apologize for, you know, being behind and having to wait and whatnot. And again, I didn't care. It was whatever. I'm just glad to be seen, you know. That kind of attitude is where I'm at in life. And then he finally gets me back, and I'm talking to the guy. He's not nearly as old as I thought he was. When I looked him up online, I thought he was an older gentleman. I mean, he was older than me, but I really thought he was older. So that was nice. And very nice fella. Very nice guy. We're talking, and he's like, yep, your case is complicated. And I'm like, shit. Here we go again, you know. So instead of pulling out, this one needs a little bit more. I thought my eyes were not quite the same. He says, I have a doctor that's working with me right now. Said he's doing the gastroenterology, but he just came from bariatrics, and I want him to look to see if doing this one surgery is a possibility. I'm like, fine, okay. Much rather you bring in another doctor to talk to me than pulling up Google and reading to me the same stuff I can read, right? He says, so while this doctor, and I can't remember his name, comes in, I'm also going to call a Dr. Allen. I didn't know his name. And I'm going to talk to him. I highly trust him and recommend him. And oh, dang, I just got glue everywhere. And if you have to have this type of surgery, this is who I want to send you to. Again, okay, absolutely okay with that. You know, if it's complicated and out of the realm of his knowledge, he's not relying on Google or Safari or whatever I can rely on. He's bringing in experts that he trusts and recommends. So I just felt so much better. So much better. And then I was talking to, I don't know, I have my close friends, my family, that I tell what's going on, right? And they're like, well, do you think he listened to you? And I'm like, you know, I think so, but there was just so much going on. I'm not 100% sure if he literally listened to everything I said or not. I said, but I don't feel like I've been discredited, ignored, or 110 things that I felt previously. So I get my after visit report today, and I'm like, I told him, I said, he absolutely listened to me. Everything on that report is exactly as I said it, as I told him, as we discussed. That really helped me feel validated, because it is apparently a pretty complicated case. So here's why it seems to be complicated. I had the gastroparesis pre-diagnosis, and I had all the tests that you do to see. And that's what this Dr. Vitale said. He says, everything I would have tested, you've been tested for. I'm like, okay, well, at least it's a step in the right direction. It's already done, right? And then he's like, but everything came back normal. Okay. That's a problem. Because if it's gastroparesis, I should be delayed emptying and other things. And I'm not. He's like, so we need to start looking at what other options it could be. He said, you know, in this gastric bypass that everybody keeps telling me about, and even he mentioned, he said it might not be a fix. He said your esophagus might be the problem. Well, that's the first time anybody's ever said my esophagus might be the problem. Now, in fairness, and I mentioned to this last time, I have gastrointestinal something reflux disease. I've had it. Oh yeah, I needed to trim those a little bit more. I will trim them later. Oh, those are beautiful. Okay. Good thing I bought 2 of them. Look at that. Very pretty. Okay. All right, Mama. So, anyways. Sorry. I get so excited sometimes. He's the first one that wants to test for that. Everybody has been testing for my stomach and wanting to throw me right into this surgery to bypass my stomach. And as I've told everybody, I don't think there's a person, and there probably is, but most people don't particularly want to have surgery just to have surgery. I'm one of them. I don't particularly want to have surgery if I don't need surgery. But I'm not afraid to have surgery if it'll fix and correct my problem, right? So if he's saying he's not sure it will, well, hold up. Yeah, let's not do this surgery until we know it'll work. So, he's talking some different medicines and some testing to do to check my esophagus. Again, this had not been mentioned to me prior. I mean, the doctors talked about my GERD. And yes, my GERD, it's such an ugly name for this gastroesophageal reflux disease. That's what it was. But it's, all the doctors were aware of it. I've had it for 10 plus years. So well before the 5 months I've been sick and constant vomiting. And it's been under control with medicines. And I've not had the first issue with GERD whatsoever. So I am like taken aback thinking, okay, we're going to kind of get stuck on something that it's not. But at the same time, I'm like, doesn't matter. We're looking at other options. At this point, does it matter? So, and the reaction to that is no, it doesn't. Let's test it all. Even if we've not been having issues with GERD, even if it's under control. Maybe it has caused a issue over the past 10 years that needs to be checked and fixed. So he gave me a list of, not a list, we discussed some potential things it could be. And if it's an esophageal disease, so it's a motility issue, meaning it's not moving through my either stomach or esophagus or whatever. Esophageal motility, from what I can tell, is not very common. Of course. Okay, I'm just loving these lashes. These could be my new favorites. I want to see them with a lighter look, because my eyes are really dark right now with this smoky look. So if I did a lighter, I might be able to see it different and have a different opinion. But right now, I'm loving it. So, okay. So we're doing a couple tests to start with. But before we talk about this test, let's look at these neck things that I am not real sure is going to work for me, because wow, that's really, really tight. I don't understand. These clips that they've given me doesn't make sense to me. All right, so I want to do the neck. And this is the little thing, and I'm not real sure. Okay. For neck and jawline, that's the area I want to work on right now. I still don't think I'll be able to do it because I couldn't wear it out. I'd have to have a wig on because you would see it. But for now, because even with a wig, I could probably do up here too and pull it up and get a good, but, well, it doesn't do that. It does it right here, which obviously I couldn't do because I've got this undercut, but with a wig I could. All right, we're gonna do both because why not? Oh, I dropped everything. I'm sorry, I'm off the camera. But the clips they've given me, I don't know. I'm not going to do the top right now because the clips don't make sense to me. I mean, it looks like I'm supposed to put it here and tie it. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't like this at all. Because they want you to put it right here and then pull. Make sure in front of the ears. Should adhere to your skin, so I'm going to put it about right here, not your ears. So I'm supposed to stick it through here, and there's a little catch, and now I guess I peel off the back. Okay. Okay, let's do the other side. Do the top, okay. All right, so now let's pull this up and take both of these. Oh, it's trying to come apart, and I don't want it to wrinkle. So then I touch it, and I guess I tie it. I'm going to have to, because that's just going to come off if I don't. How freaking weird. Okay. Oh, right. No. A little too much. So I need to, and it come off. All right, we're going to have to work with the face. Let's try the neck. That was pretty awful. We're just going to set these aside because I don't know. The whole tying part's what I don't get. Because there's a little hook. But that would come off, I'm sure. Let's see. Don't know how adhesive it is, but we'll try one more time. It doesn't feel like it's very adhesive. Yeah, it's wanting to pull. All right, we're going to try it again later. For now, that was a fail. So, under the neck and jaw, it says to actually, let me show you these. Make sure I've got one. I didn't know. There's two little things. I'm supposed to cut the top one off. Okay. Move all that over here. It just feels like, okay, see, that one had, I bet there's more than one on this one. Because they really do kind of cling together. I can take my hair down now. So let's see. Is there more than one? I bet there is. And if so, I've already cut them. Well, okay, maybe not. It just feels like there's more than one, but I'm not going to sit and fight it. Okay, so I've cut both of those. And it says to attach it here and pull. Okay. Now these are so thin. I don't know how this is going to work. She has it about right here. Press it in really, really good. And let's do the same for this one. And then, this isn't going to reach. Holy shit. Oh. Ow! This is a joke. I mean, like, really? And I have to cut another one. Because there's no way that was going to stick. We've already seen what happens. Let's put this in. Okay. All right, it's on. This one's wanting to come off, so I'm going to waste more of these than use them. It's okay. I wasn't sure if they were going to be good or not, so I mean, there's like 60 of them in here. Yes, I've gone through 4 or 5, but hey. See, it's already coming off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to do both of them basically at the same time. So I've got both of them trimmed. I'm going to put one through each side. Okay. And of course I put one of them on wrong. Oh well. That's just going to have to twist. Okay. So now I want to peel off the backing to both of these. All right. It's on. What do you think? Feels funny in the back of my head, but hey, what do you think? I don't think they're going to stay. And then look at the back. That's kind of obvious. So, but in a wig, it wouldn't be. So, you know, I don't know. I wanted more of a, we'll see. I do the J-Lo look. I try it. See how it's really pulling right now? I don't know. I honestly think both of these could be a bust. Thankfully, I didn't spend a ton of money on either, but I'm curious too, because I do have a latex sensitivity, if these are latex free. If not, how's that going to react to my skin? So, tons of questions. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so now we're going to go on and start working on my face. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put these over here. It feels funny. So, let me get some stuff together because I've got everything out, but it's all over the place. I'm going to be using my VDL Beauty Finisher for a primer. I love this primer. I don't grab it as much as I honestly should, considering how great it is, but that's what we're using today. Okay, I think I got everything. And let me just prep my face. Okay. So, my phone's going crazy. Let that set for a minute. So we're using the VDL primer. Then we're going to use this. And what I think I'm going to do, because I'm curious how much it covers, I've got my Fenty concealer. So I'm going to do one side under the foundation and one side over it. Yeah. Because I like to make things difficult. I just want to see with this foundation which one works the better. Because like I told you, some foundations do. Some foundations literally work better with the primer under it. I love this primer. Why do I not use it more often? I think I've got it kind of hidden out of the way. And it gives it such a nice little glow. I didn't want a matte primer when I was trying to think of a good primer to use with this, because the, oh, I forget I have that one too. They've all fallen over so I don't see them. But the product itself says it has a natural glow, so I feel like it's getting ready to pull off. I also feel like my skin might be a little red. Okay, anyways, so on this side, we're going to do the primer under. Okay, so let's talk about the testing. And I'm probably going to mess up names and probably should grab my phone. Yep, there it went. So this is going to probably be a big no for me. Which is unfortunate, because I always like when new stuff works. So we're just doing this concealer under my over top of the foundation, or shoot, primer. Okay, so the first test that we're going to have done is, let me see if I have it saved. Okay, so one of the things they think I might have is called, I'm going to butcher it, achalasia. It's a rare disorder making it difficult for food or liquid to pass into the stomach through your esophagus. Okay, so I'm going to have, I don't have it saved. I was doing some pre-registering for a concert that my daughter and I want to go to. I'm going to put a little bit more because I really want my under eye. So I'm going to have a esophageal motility study manometry test. And this can be done in the office. And everybody that was in there, the doctor and the nurse that I talked to who will actually be doing the test, says it's it's unpleasant. So what it is okay, so I'm not doing this side. This is going to be over. And here's the foundation. In the office, they're going to take a tube and they're going to run it through my nose, down my throat. And it is, I'm going to have to swallow 10 drinks of water, or 10 sips of water. That's what she said, 10 sips. Okay. And what it does is it measures the pattern of muscle activity through the length of the esophagus, including contractions that are too weak or too strong. So that's what this is going to do. So I am going to have that test done. This color looks like it might be perfect. Very lightweight, almost like a whipped feel to it. So I'm going to have that done. And then they want to do, and they almost did it in the office yesterday, because it is something they can do in the office, and they decided not to because they want me to come back and do another EGD. Now, you know, I've had one, but what he wants to do, you kind of have to do an EGD to get it done. He wants to go in and do this EGD and then implant a button. It's called a Bravo, and it does a pH test. So what it'll do is, when I have this test, because I have GERD, they're going to take me off all my medicine. And so I'm go in and have, I thought this might be a good match. I'm not real sure. Actually, it might be. I was thinking it looked yellow, but I don't really think the more I'm blending it, it does. So okay, so this is sinking into every pore I own. Even with a good primer. So that's a no. So this Bravo test. So he implants this little button, and what it does is for 48 hours, it tests the pH levels of the acid that are in my stomach from the GERD. And it'll be higher on the esophagus, I guess. So if it gets up that high, what levels, blah, blah, blah. And I have to wear this device, like a beeper is what they called it, for 48 hours. I have to keep a log of everything. Eating, drinking, sleeping, all of that. So they can take that log, plus what the monitor says, and get some readings. Okay, so it did settle into some pores, but it does not look as bad as I initially thought. Would I buy it? I don't know. I'll have to wear it a little bit just to decide if I would buy it. Basically, because I have a pretty good skin tint that I like, that doesn't settle into the pores. Would I try it again? Yes. And maybe use another pore filler? Yeah, because see, right through here, the pores are really noticeable. So yeah, and then of course the little button falls out on its own and it just exits your body naturally. And it's so funny because she says, and I don't need it back. And I just laughed at her. I'm like, yeah, no, I had no intention of fishing that out for you. And she's like, well, you would think I wouldn't have to say that. She said, but I had this woman bring one in. She was so proud of it. She found it, watched for it, obviously, pulled it out and brought it in. She's like, oh, thank you, throw it away. Like, yeah, no. I will not be doing that, so no worries. Okay. It's not bad. I'm curious how the rest of the product sets. So I can still tell it's got the concealer there. I'm going to go in and put it on this side and see which one I like the best, over or under the foundation. That's really all I did too. This is, you know, it says it's a lightweight foundation, but I don't know. I feel like it's got some coverage to it. And I did this, and I really can't tell much of a difference over or under, so do a little bit more through here like I did before. Try to match both sides. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I think in all, I think it looks better over it, but I think I could get away with either. Let's pat that in and blend it in. So yeah, I think it's one of those that the foundation and concealer you can do however you prefer. So that's good. If you prefer your concealer first, have at it. So you know, the more I'm working with this, I actually do like it. I feel like I've got a nice glow, and there's some coverage to it. I was expecting it not to have much coverage because it was talking about very light, low coverage. Okay, so the Sculpt tape. Like I said, this is very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury that I use already. So I'm very excited to see how it goes. So anyways, to finish the discussion on the Doctor, I feel very good. Golly. My lips. I've got something on them that I don't know if it's foundation or bronze, but I got something in it. Okay, so I do feel though it was worth the while. So I went on and canceled the barium swallow that I was supposed to do tomorrow, because it's so funny, because when I'm looking at the manometry, it literally says a barium swallow study can't measure the muscle contractions of your esophagus, and that's what we're going for. So I was like, why would I go get another test done I don't need? So I did cancel that. I will cancel Mr. Dr. Google. I just feel like I'm in the right direction. I'm loving these lashes. I'm not loving these as much. I was hoping I would. It literally feels like I got Band-Aids on my eyes, but we'll see. So open it. Okay. And what color did I get? Soft bronze. This one is, I think, fair light. fair medium. So it's probably actually darker than this. And I'm just going to, like I normally do, and I'm just going to that buffed out so easy. Like sometimes the Charlotte Tilbury, I have to really work it in. That did not. I'm going to have to deepen it though, I think. Go back over top of it. And that's probably part of not knowing. They come out with like 5 different colors and not really knowing which color to get. Because I was trying to match it to what I use over here and I can't. Okay, a little bit more. But it blends so nicely. Look at that. Okay. I like. So let's do the nose. Okay. And I have a clean brush here because it would have had the Charlotte Tilbury on it, and I wanted to make sure it, golly, it blends so well. I'm going to have to buy another one. Different color, too. Look at that. That is so good. So, okay. You know, Tarte is one of my favorite brands. But you also know Shape Tape is not a brand or a product that I enjoy. So I was worried because this is in the Shape Tape line. So yeah, I was concerned. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. And we will obviously do a wear test on it to see if it dries me out like Shape Tape does. Shape Tape really accentuates lines and dryness on my skin. So I'm curious if this does. I mean, there's not like there's a lot of lines on my cheeks. It's all around my eyes. So I am blessed with some laugh lines. And I say blessed because that means I've had something to laugh about. Good, bad, and ugly in most cases. All right, so I really, really like that. I would honestly almost leave it, but I do have other products to put on. So we'll go ahead. I've got blush, bronzer, highlight. We're going to go ahead and put some highlight on before we put the blush and the bronzer. You know that is my preferred way of doing it. And it's very light highlight, which is perfect for me. It's literally what I don't like a lot of bright highlight. Then I've got my NARS contour. I'm just going to go over, or this is the bronzer. I got the NARS bronzer, and I'm just going to go right over the contour. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Look at that. Oh, I hope you all, I know, I need to figure out, if you all can't see this makeup look as well, how do I fix that? Because I've got lights and everything that I thought I needed. But if you can't see it, then it's not everything I need. I'm missing something. Okay. Just press all that in. I like it. It's just got a little bit of a glow. Not too much. I got Patrick Ta, which is not a glowy, like it's not got the shimmer. So it's kind of perfect to go over top of a highlight. if I'm using a blush that has shimmer in it, I don't highlight. Because then I can just be a stop sign and glow for miles around. And I don't know about you all. In my everyday life, I'm in and out of customers, and a lot of times on their manufacturing floors. It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be any number of things. And I don't need to look sweaty if I'm not sweaty. And I sometimes feel like too much of the highlight can do that. So here is the finished face. I'm very happy with this. And I pulled out some products I haven't used in a while, like the NARS and the Patrick Ta. That Benefit Highlight is one I haven't used in a while. So, a couple things. As this is drying, I like to do oh no, I was going to do this, but I forgot. This new palette has a white. I'm going to use it. I like to do a white on the inner crease, or inner corner of my eye, just to help brighten up. Just to brighten it up a little bit. Go under the eye, that way when I do mascara, okay. I know, it looks funny. I get it. It does. I'll put that in here. No, I won't put that in here. Okay, so now, what do I need to do? Oh, I got this little concealer brush, and I'm just going to pat it in like I would a concealer. I'm not pushing, I'm pushing it in. I am not blending it out, just like you do concealer. Because I want it to give me that bright look. Then I will take this and just press it in again. Okay. There. I just really like the look of doing that. I don't know. Okay. Now, we're going to be doing this, and I did get, which one did I get? Hello, I don't know. Why do I keep trying to look at stuff without glasses? I don't know. Ruler. This was the Muted Cranberry. Let's see. I am not going to put on eyeliner. I did liner yesterday going well, I was going out before the doctor, and the liner looked awful. I really overlined. So, I'm just not even going to do it today. Okay. That's a pretty color. So I used that red last time, and literally hours after it being on, when I took my makeup off, I had to scrub it off. I do get it on my teeth. I don't know how. It is what it is. It comes off. That's gorgeous. That color is amazing. All right, so eyeliner, and I'm done. I forgot to do it. I usually do it before lipstick. And this is the Lancome Tint Idole that I got for my birthday that I do really like. It's got a curved brush, as you know, is my favorite, especially under the lashes or bottom lashes and doing the lashes before I put my falsies on. So if I'm doing, that looks really weird. Clumped together there for some reason. If I'm doing lashes, I don't have a, thought I had a spoolie over here. If I'm doing lashes, or if I'm just using my natural lashes and not wearing any falsies, I like a more full brush. Typically like a, a Better Than Sex, or even the Real from Benefit. Those are my go-tos. But, okay, that just, it looks funny right there and I don't like it. That's better. I think I just had mascara, or I had it on my eye. Okay, anyways, this is the look. Tell me what you think. I'm happy with it. Even the foundation, I'm happy with. The, all of it, just all of it is really, does good. So next day or two, I'll do another video and we'll try out, you know, the Shape Tape again, and hopefully I'll get that blush that I ordered and concealer, and I'll try out the new palette that I have, another lipstick. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that we'll work on, so stick around. Thank you for always being there, for watching and hanging out with me. And sorry these videos are getting a little bit longer, but we're trying new things, doing new things, so I'm sorry, but I'll try to be better. Anyways, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. I love you all. And until next time, bye.